Number one is the Eagles. Let's bring in LeSean Shady McCoy of Speak, my co-host on Speak on FS1 to talk about the Eagles. What do you think of my power ranking, Shady?
Shady!
What's up?
Yeah!
2 times?
Love it. It's for you. Just
We make it cozy around here. LeSean Shady McCoy, 2 Super Bowls, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. Eagles leading rusher in franchise history. Do you still feel like the Eagles are the best team in the league?
I do. I truly believe that. I think I got some good news, right? Lane will not need surgery till after
That's
the
great
season.
news.
So that's always great. If you know the record when Lane doesn't play, I won't tell you because it's not good.
Not good.
And then Jalen Hurts, our MVP. We get him back. I heard that things are going good for him. I'm not sure if he'll be playing in the regular season anymore, but I know in the playoffs he'll be ready to go. We get the bye week. We're a dangerous team. Even losing to the Cowboys, you see how dangerous we really are. Like, let's think about it. When we ever have 4 turnovers in one game, right? The best thing about the Eagles were we don't turn the ball over. So you look at the game. Yeah, we lost against the Cowboys. They played an excellent game. Dak really, he showed off, right? The defense, 40 points? A 40 burger with like extra cheese, extra. Come on. That won't happen again against the Birds. 3rd and 30, right? Come on. So I just think that I'm happy with the Birds. It's hard to go this far with winning so many games, right? I think the playoffs will be ready to roll.
So, well, I mean, if Jalen Hurts doesn't finish the season out, he's not going to win the MVP. Patrick Mahomes will win the MVP, which he will, which he deserves.
But yeah,
Patrick Mahomes
that's my boy too.
He's had an MVP level season.
Yes, he has.
I think that Jalen Hurts has also had an MVP level season, but I don't think he should win the MVP if he doesn't finish the season out.
Right.
Do you feel comfortable with him sitting for the rest of the season? Is it like a health thing, or you just want to make sure that he's 100% healthy going into the postseason?
You know what? It's hard to get 100% this late in the season.
Right.
But I think it's great if you can get there, right? And we're talking about our best player, right? At least playing. So, yeah, I think I'm not against sitting him for the whole year. And then having a fresh start in the playoffs, they'll be practicing. They'll be getting the timing together. He runs the ball enough where he takes hits. So I think it's better for him to rest that body up, rest that arm up, especially the right arm, and get back to winning games and scoring touchdowns.
We're talking to Shady McCoy, my co-host on Speak on FS1, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Just a little while from now. I'll be on there later. We'll be arguing about something. Or we actually agree a lot.
Yeah, we agree a lot.
We agree on a lot
of things. It's the other guy.
Dave Allen and Emmanuel Archer. We'll have Emmanuel on later on the show today. Joy Taylor in for Colin Cowherd. So we talked at the beginning of the season about Jalen Hurts, and you guys weren't so sure because you and Emmanuel obviously have Eagles ties. If they were going to commit to him after the season, you think he's done enough that he's going to be the guy moving forward?
I think so. I think in the beginning of the year, I didn't know. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't know. The Jalen Hurts that I seen last year, right, to this year, it's a totally different person. Like, if they had 2 different numbers out there, 2 different people. And that just shows you the dedication and hard work that he put in on the offseason, right? And then I think Coach Sirianni, like, I give him a lot of credit. And also Howie for putting the team together and also giving him some help. A lot of times with these coaches, they get so arrogant. I draft you, you're going to fit into my scheme. It's not that. No, you drafted me. So what they did is they put him, right, in a scheme that fits him. Whatever you want to do, Jalen, let's do it. So, yeah, I think he's our franchise guy. I mean, think about that, though. If Jalen Hurts leaves Philadelphia, like...
I mean, I don't know Philadelphia the way that you do.
Oh,
I feel like it would be outrageous.
Listen, when we won our first Super Bowl, they destroyed Broad Street. It was a big party for everybody, right? If they let Jalen Hurts go, it was going to be the same thing. But they're not going to be happy. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to be burning everything. You cannot let Jalen Hurts leave. He's our franchise guy for the future. That's an easy one right there.
I agree.
Sign him up.
No, Philly fans are something else. I got to give you that. I experienced it for the first time during the World Series in Philly. Saw them climbing the poles, going crazy in the street.
Right.
That's a crazy fan base.
People normally love Santa Claus, right? Like, as a kid growing up, they love Santa. I played in a game, a TV timeout. Me and the boys, we you know, it's kind of cold, so we like, damn, it's cold, you know. We look over, they beating up Santa Claus because he had a Santa outfit on with the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
You know, so Philadelphia is nothing to play with.
Philadelphia has a reputation, and some of it is earned. But I think Philly fans are great fans. They're very passionate. So speaking of the Cowboys, let's talk about the Cowboys. Now, where you and I have disagreed this week is I don't think that was as great of a game. It was a nice win for the Cowboys. Yes. Anytime you beat the Eagles, it's a good win. Dak played great. The defense played amazing. Had forced 4 turnovers.
That was big, yeah.
But also, the Eagles had 4 turnovers, and they didn't have Jalen Hurts. And similar to the game early in the season when they didn't have Dak and it was Cooper Rush, we just kind of got robbed of this matchup this year.
Yeah.
But you made everyone a little upset last week when you were talking about Dak Prescott. And that's your opinion of how he plays. I think Dak is an above-average quarterback. I think he gets criticized more than he probably should just because he's the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. Like, I think if he was a quarterback of most other teams, we would think he's actually doing a really good job considering the fact that he is a 4th-round draft pick.
Right.
But that's not what it is. And he's the Cowboys quarterback, and that's what it is. And there's benefits to that, and there's negatives to that. That's how it goes.
Gift and a curse.
Yes. Do you think Dak is a confetti guy? Like, can you see Dak Prescott? I don't want to say taking, because the Dallas Cowboys have a good team. They have a great defense, and they have some pieces on offense that they don't get enough credit for. So, can you see Dak Prescott being a Super Bowl winning quarterback? I can.
To answer your question, and I would say yes. This is the reason why. So like, okay, I got excited. It was the Eagles versus Cowboys, right? And I should have said that he's playing, a certain way, which he was. I mean, the numbers can't lie. He's throwing picks everywhere.
He is throwing a lot of
Even
turnovers.
that game's Eagles, that first pick, everybody's like, oh my God, it's happening again. And he turned it on. So yes, I do think that Dak's above average quarterback, right? And you can win with him. I think if he has to be more consistent, right? He can't turn the ball over. But not only just about Dak. If you look at that team is capable of winning the Super Bowl. Let's think about it. They have a good defense.
Yep.
They get after the quarterback, right? They got a MVP / Defense Player of the Year, Michael Parsons from Harrisburg, where I'm from. Shout out to Parsons. But he's a dog, right? Yeah. You mix in DeMarcus Lawrence with the other defense, like players they have in the back end. And they have some injuries, but they play well as a defense. And then they run the ball. So in the playoffs, it gets cold. That's what happens. It's cold in the playoffs. You got to be able to play defense and run the ball.
Right.
You got a Pro Bowl running back and Tony Pollard. And then his backup is Zeke. Like, that's a form of winning football. So, yes, I think if Dak Prescott can play that level he played against the Eagles, which was top-notch, like crazy work everywhere, he protects the ball a lot better. They run the ball. They play defense. They have a chance to win a Super Bowl.
I think they do, too. Cowboys fans are mad at me right now. I don't know why.
They always mad at somebody. But the thing is, the only thing about them winning that championship is Philadelphia's in the NFC. And before you go to the Super Bowl, you got to beat them. And I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I would pick the Eagles, too. Yes. Also, they need to focus on winning a game in the postseason.
That is true. Like,
I know Dak has won several. I know he's won in the postseason before. Well, another team that's made the postseason that is also mad at me is the Chargers. And you were always on Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say that. I'm not on Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert is great.
Hold on. You also do not give him his love like he deserves.
No. First of all, we can't be linked together because people are lumping me into Emmanuel's opinion of Justin Herbert, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but I didn't say. One, I think Justin Herbert is great.
Right.
I think he will have a great career.
I do too.
I think he is extremely talented and athletic. I think he's smart. I think he's a great franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
He does all the right things, says all the right things, puts fires out, seems like he's a good teammate. Love all of it.
Right.
I don't have any problem with Justin Herbert at all. I think he's great. In fact, I was sitting right over there when Colin and I were talking about how great Justin Herbert was going to be, and everyone was like, no, I played at Oregon. He's not that good. I'm like, no, I watched him in the Rose Bowl. He's pretty awesome. He's going to be great if he gets into the right situation.
Right.
Okay. So I've actually never slandered Justin Herbert.
Okay.
What I don't like is the conversation around Justin Herbert because everyone gets excited.
The hype.
No. He deserves the hype.
Okay.
But don't get so hyped on something that you disregard what we just watched.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, don't elevate people past other people who have done as much but accomplished more.
Right.
Like, how does he get above Justin Herbert? I mean Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, whoa.
Like, how did he jump? How did he jump Patrick Mahomes?
I can't put anybody over Patrick Mahomes. Like, listen, that sounds crazy.
Listen, I know it sounds crazy.
Yeah,
I did not think this was an outrageous opinion.
Patty gets busy.
Yes. And look, if you want to argue about Joe Burrow talent-wise or whatever, you can do that too. I'm not going to he just played in a Super Bowl earlier this year. We got 1 week left of 2022. In 2022, Joe Burrow was in the Super Bowl.
That's a great argument, though. And that's going to go down for years. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, right? And then, that's what the NFL is made of. The NFL is made on quarterbacks.
Right.
That's why they get paid so much. And they try to find the comparisons, right? But
it's a great comparison. They're in the same draft class.
I just think that, if I had to go and pick a quarterback in that draft class, right? Just speaking right now. Now, I think my boy Jalen Hurts is going to catch some guys.
So
right?
if you redrafted right now, if you redrafted that class of Burrow, Tua, Herbert, and Jalen Hurts, what order would you do it?
So now this is my argument with people. If I'm redrafting, I'm drafting my franchise for 20 years. These quarterbacks should be playing for 20 years. That's
20.
No. That's the new standard now. The new standard is
no.
What, you doing Tom standard?
That's Tom.
Hold on.
Let's do 15.
Okay, so let's say 15. Okay, 15, 16, right?
Okay.
I mean,
okay, let's do 15.
Right.
Because once you get to 18 and stuff, it starts to look a little different.
But even that, Rodgers, he's not playing well this year, but he just won an MVP back to back twice.
Right. So let's do 15 years.
Okay, so 15. So if I'm picking this quarterback for 15 years, let me put my GM hat on. Let me put my Howie Roseman hat. All right, Howie McCoy. Okay, anyway, so I would take, for my 15 years, I'm going to take Herbert. I'm going to take him.
I don't think that's outrageous.
It's hard. You have to go on Madden, right? The video game, and draw it up.
Same team, though? What team are you drafting him to? That's a whole new ballgame here.
That matters too, though.
No. I see where you're going with that.
Because I'm like, if he ends up on a different team,
then I'm going with Jalen Hurts. Right? Jalen Hurts, out of all the quarterbacks, he can do everything. He runs the ball like a running back. He throws the ball like a quarterback. So it's all how you want to build your team, right?
But then that changes the conversation.
Even Burrow, right? Because they love to argue the Burrow thing. But I would love to put Justin Herbert with them boys. That offense is stable. Oh, my God.
You want Herbert on the Cowboys?
I'm saying if Herbert
on the Bengals.
was with the Bengals.
Oh, they said them boys.
Them boys, they can play.
Of course.
Tyler Boyd, they would say the third best. He's a beast.
So we might actually have this argument on our
it's
show
hard.
later.
It's a hard
today.
one.
We're talking to Shady McCoy. I hear you, but
you don't feel me.
No.
Okay,
I don't.
okay.
I don't. If I disagree, it's not like it's splitting hairs. I'm not that's crazy.
It's a hard argument.
Who would do that? It is a hard argument.
It's a hard one.
I think that Joe Burrow went to a worse situation initially than Justin Herbert. Now, obviously, they got him Jamar Chase, and then obviously we know what their wide receiving core looks like now. But they were there his first year, and what happens? His offensive line was terrible, and he got injured because his offensive line was terrible. I think he's overcome and very quickly took a bad organization to the Super Bowl. So, this is where the Justin Herbert Burrow argument starts to split.
Okay.
Because you feel like the statistics with Herbert matter more than the results do with Joe Burrow, and that's where I differ. I think that if you can take an organization like the Cincinnati Bengals through the AFC, beat Patrick Mahomes on the way there, and go to the Super Bowl and be competitive in the Super Bowl. It's not like they got blown out.
I mean, but that sounds good, right? Until you really look at the team. The defense was solid defense. Then the offense was lights out. You had 1,000-yard running back in the backfield. Joe Mixon is a dog.
Yes, he's
right.
Great.
He's not just some regular player. He's a dog. And then you look at all three of the wide receivers. They each had 1,000. Am I correct?
So, but Joe Burrow was throwing them the ball.
Yeah, but he also throwing Jamar Chase 8-yard passes. He taking it for 68 yards. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is that it's a hard argument, and I think Joe deserves his credit. Joe Burrow is a beast.
Yeah, he's in the MVP conversation right now.
This argument is hard. It's not just
I think it's a matter. It's a matter of preference. I think it's splitting hairs. They're two great players, and I'm with you. I think Jalen's going to catch both of them. I mean, he's having an MVP level season this year as well, and I'm sure we'll talk more about this as the postseason goes on. We're talking to LeSean Shady McCoy on the Herd. So this was you were chilling, right?
Yeah.
Relax.
It's the Herd / speak takeover.
That's a speak takeover. Not to end on a down note before I get you out of here. I don't know if you saw the news that Tua is going to be out for this weekend now. Man. He has a concussion. We talked about it on our show, Speak, and you were the first one to suggest it, that perhaps he should consider retiring. Yes. It's very serious. So now you can fully say he's had 2 concussions in 3 months.
In 3 months.
3 head injuries, 2 concussions.
Yeah.
If you don't want to consider the first one, which we all know was a head injury in the Buffalo Bills game, within a matter of 3 months. Not a year, not even a full football season, in 3 months. And he is now just recovering. They're not even talking about when he's going to be back. I mean, you played.
Right.
I'm sure you've had concussions.
2 in 12 years. You see?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big span. Not great, but still a long time. Mm-hmm. I would not want my brothers going back out there, certainly this season.
Oh, no.
No matter how this plays out for the Dolphins. And it would have to be a real conversation about whether you played again, because it's not something that you can replace.
Yeah. See, this is my thing. Like, when I watch Tua, I think Tua's an excellent player, right? He's a lot better than people thought, given the stance of having, like, good players, a good coach that believe in him, right? So you build his confidence up, he's playing well. Then he starts getting these head injuries. So my thing was, like, typically in football, you're going to get injured. Right. That's how it works. But sometimes it's like an ankle hair, it's a shoulder hair, it's a a sore knee. You know, with Tua's case, it's like it's always his head, and you could ankles, you could break them, get them back, or et cetera, knees, whatever it is. But you only get one head, and it's like, man, when I heard the news that he was feeling like he had a concussion, and then for a player to go to the doctors like, hey doc, I'm not feeling good. You know, most players, we try to hide it to keep playing. He must have really been messed up to tell him that. So then when you fast forward it, and then now it's out there that, hey, he had a concussion, it's like, yeah, it's 2 concussions in 3 months. So that's tough. We love the game. I love the game. Like, they pay you good. It's fun. You're with your brothers. As a kid, you dream to play on this level. But now it's like you think about your health. After football, I retired at, 33 or something like that. You have so much years to live. I don't know if he has children. We actually live in the same development. So I see him jogging around sometimes, and I know he's married. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you have a whole family to worry about. So let's say that, he doesn't play this year. Then the first concussion he has next year, now you put the NFL on alert. Right. Because the NFL, I love the NFL, but they're worried about that shield. And how would they look if a quarterback, I mean, I hate to say this, but that's the most important position. That's why they get paid like that. So a quarterback having another head injury, concussion, what happens now? So I'm worried for him, because it's like it hurts, because when you see a player out there, we have to be from the same team. Like, we're a brotherhood, and I feel bad for him, man. So hopefully he really thinks about his career, because your health is everything.
Yeah, and it's devastating, because it's not something that he can control. Like, it's if you're out of shape and you're not taking care of your body, and you pull something or whatever that leads to an injury. Like, some people don't take care of their bodies. This is nothing that you can control, which makes it even all the more devastating and serious. Well, thanks for jumping on with us, Shady. Appreciate it.
I'm done already.
We got bills to pay.
I guess
you have fun, huh?
The big guys next.
We'll have Emmanuel on later. We're gonna have Dave on tomorrow, so I'll let you know if he says anything slanderous.
Listen, if you need to talk about some Eagles, Cowboys, call me up.
Are you going to sneak on? You should just sneak on to his appearance tomorrow.
He gets carried away.
Just steal his appearance.
Yeah, I might just get an Eagle, I don't know, bag, and just put it over him. Just take him up the set.
We're here for it.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.